Hello and welcome to Admit One, your movie and TV podcast, right here on Rabbit Hole Media. I am one of your hosts, Jack Netley Thompson, and as always and as usual, I am joined by one Kristian Lasham.
Hello. I have made a very subtle change to the design of the lower third since I've added these new versions. I don't know if anyone can, if you spot it.
I can tell.
It's subtle, but I like it. I think it looks a lot better.
It does. It's also a lot clearer, I think.
Yeah.
A lot more readable. Hello, Toom. Thanks for joining. Hello. Thanks for tuning in.
See, what I did do after I'd made this one, I did realise that what I should have done is made the lower thirds in the new art style with that corner triangle.
Oh, I see. I don't know how that would work with the lower third, though, to be fair. I guess that's for an experiment some other time.
I do like experiments.
Indeed, this is Admit One, your movie and TV podcast, right here on Rabbit Hole Media. If you like what you're doing is watching us. You can follow us on Twitter at rabbithole_UK. You can subscribe to us on YouTube, where you can see us anytime that you wish. You can follow us on Twitch at Rabbit Hole Media, and you can join the chaos and carnage that is our conversation over on the Discord.
Indeed.
And now you can follow us on Instagram at rabbithole_media_UK and on TikTok at Rabbit Hole Media for all the behind the scenes tits and bits. If you would like to support us, head to merch.rabbitholemedia.co.uk for a wide range of merchandise that has recently gotten wider. And finally, if you're watching us live on Twitch and are an Amazon Prime member, you get one free Twitch Prime membership a month. Please find it within your hearts to give that membership to us. It doesn't cost you a penny, but goes a very long way in helping us bring you the shows that you love. Fucking nailed it.
Well done.
It's because I've watched it 800
We've heard it
times
many times today. Yeah.
For things you will see soon enough. But yes, it was. It's ingrained, at least for today. I'll forget
Which
it
is weird
tomorrow.
Because the version you just did and nailed is not the version
we've listened to 900 times. Yeah. Well, it was past a certain point.
This is true.
Past a certain point, it was. It was the new one. It was the refreshed. Swap out the podcast services for the Discord version. Indeed, it was.
I'm not sure if I understand Hannah's comment about the lights, unless she means that it just looks a bit darker in here again because of this incredibly bright screen.
Yeah, no, the lights are the same. If we sit like this, it will adjust and start becoming brighter.
Look at that.
It's because the light behind us is so bright that it will darken the rest of it, because cameras don't know what to do when there is a light facing them and light coming from behind them.
Yeah.
Hannah is surviving. That doesn't sound ideal. That doesn't sound like top notch.
It is all you can do at the moment, to be fair.
It is, yeah. It is, yes. We've just gotten from pandemic to war.
Yes.
So that's good fun. That's good fun. Although we're technically not at war yet. So
no.
Yet.
That is the optimal word, isn't it?
It is. It's the word that needs emphasis the most.
Yeah.
It is yet. Hello, Rich. How the devil are you? I don't know why I'm talking like that. I'm sorry. We're here, of course, to talk about Fast and Furious 8, or The Fate of the Furious, whatever you want to call it.
Because they don't know.
They don't know either. Yeah, this one seems to call
here
it...
it's F8.
Well, that's just an abbreviation for the poster, isn't it?
I suppose.
That's just an abbreviation. But some of them say... Fast and Furious 8. Some of them say Fate of the Furious. The title card within the movie itself was Fast and Furious 8.
Yeah.
But all the promotional stuff was Fate of the Furious. They make a lot of, or early on, there's a couple of emphases on the word fate.
Yeah.
So there's this. You don't really know what they're going for. They're probably going, we could call it the Fate of the Furious, but no, they would write it the F8 of the Furious, and everyone would just go, "You're nonsense. Get out of my life," like Fantastic.
Yes. But if you wrote it as F8 of the Furious, that does still read as Fate of the Furious, whereas Fantastic
does not.
Yes.
Yes. No one has ever said, "Oh, that A looks like a 4."
Yeah.
Or that 4 looks like an A. Never happens. Never happens. Yes. General thoughts of Fast and Furious 8.
You asked me as I started to yawn.
I do apologise.
As with all these films, I had a good time.
It is good. It is good. I did give you for the first time an actual absurdity warning, because I was just like, you might not enjoy this one. If you're not expecting the most ridiculous, you might not enjoy this one.
It was absolutely ridiculous. And there were many moments, again, where we shared dead.
Yes.
Particularly the man crushed by a metal door.
Jason Statham squashed by what seemed like a bank vault door in an explosion.
Yeah, you're not arguing the way out of that one. Dead.
No. Nah, but he just Britished his way up to it.
But no, I enjoyed it. It's still, I am definitely noticing what I thought I'd notice, which is I'm missing Paul Walker. I think it misses that element. They tried they tried to add a little bit of it with the guy, what they call him, what they call him?
Oh, Little Nobody.
Little Nobody, yeah. I think they tried to add a little bit of that kind of character in a way, but it just doesn't quite work. So yeah, definitely feel like it's missing some stuff compared to the last few. I mean, I think the last three so far it's peak. I think
for sure.
It's not bad. It's very good. Still works. There's some really good stuff in it, despite the fact it's all obnoxious and insane. It's cool.
Yeah,
like it's all cool. We'll get into details, but all the stuff is like, really, you've gone to that. It's still like, it was cool though. It was cool. So
100%.
And they're all proper fucking superheroes. The way they're fighting.
Oh yeah,
what they're doing. It's gone to another
we'll get
level.
Into it, but there's a scene in particular where you're just like, well, I was watching it in the cinema and going, this is a superhero movie.
Yeah. I think I know what scene that is.
Yeah. I'm not mad at it either.
No, it's fine. Yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
As long as you accept that for what it is, then you can enjoy it for what it is, and that's fine.
100%. You're not going into these movies expecting like
nitty gritty.
I can't think of a fancy artsy fartsy series. You're not watching this movie expecting The Godfather.
No, yeah.
You're going in expecting absolute chaos, ridiculousness, stupid one-liners. This movie had more one-liners than actual script. I just wanted to point that out. There's a whole scene where it's just two characters going back and forth on one-liners, and I don't think there was a script for that scene. I think they were just going, say something for the trailer. She's good. Anyway.
I'll get to that in a minute.
Oh, yeah. I hate that in everything, though. It's not unique to this. It's just films haven't decided how to make that cool yet. Because you can't, realistically. But anyway, I enjoy this movie. It's not... spoilers for the ranking, I suppose. It's not my favourite. Because, as you say, it's missing elements.
A little bit of ranking wanker. Spoiling the reference to he does that in the film.
Oh, I see. Yes.
Because always spoiled as it isn't number one.
That's true. Yeah,
Where it will go other than that.
It's not my favourite, but I still enjoy it quite a lot. It's not one that I'm just like, okay, I've done my rewatch now, I'll end here. I will watch it again. But it's good fun. There is some absolutely chaotic action. There is some good comedy in here as well, from the usual suspects. Our notification message for one, teen crumpets eating criminal some bitch.
I had a good laugh about that. Again, we watched this film together again today. That's just the thing we do now, apparently.
It's good. I enjoy it as well. It's fresher in our minds because we've watched it earlier today, and also it's just more...
What I mainly like is just that we take the piss out of the film as we're watching it. And we would do that we could be watching Endgame.
Oh, yeah. I would absolutely take the piss out of that film while we were watching it. And, absolutely. Yeah. Of course I would. It's not the first time I'm watching it. I've already acknowledged to the world that I enjoy it, so now I can rip the shit out of it. It's absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. But anyway, let's get into the spoilers and obviously chime in with your thoughts and opinions as we go in the chat.
Before we do, I just want to say, Too Much Bored... Tomb/Lara Croft/Buzz Lightyear. He said he's done some digital sketches. I can share them on Discord if you guys want to see them. I didn't see the whole thing. Do you mean of us?
No.
Okay.
Don't think it means of us.
I was going to say.
You can if you like. That'd be quite funny.
I obviously missed the previous message. I just saw that one.
Tomb had said that he was doing some sketching while watching the stream.
I see.
And Rich inquired as to what he was sketching, and Thomas Shelby or Cillian Murphy from Peaky Blinders is what he is currently sketching. Share him in the Discord. There is a crafting and hobbies thread that'll be perfect for you.
Now, people used to tell me this, and I think it's probably gone away a little bit as I've gotten a bit older and as I've grown the beard.
Yes.
But people used to say I looked like Cillian Murphy.
Those people do not have eyes.
I don't know.
I don't mean that in a mean way.
When I was even thinner, and I'm clean shaven, because my cheeks are quite
he's
sunken.
Got the protruding, very, very large, very obvious.
So I think this was around the point when I was in
prominent,
year 11, sixth form. I think back then, we would have done. I would have done.
Fair play. People just tell me I look like a creature.
Unfortunately, I don't have the same kind of bank account as Cillian Murphy. That's the.
No.
That's the real clincher.
No, I'm usually mistaken for Bigfoot.
Could be worse.
Could it?
Yeah. Like, The Abominable Snowman, Shrek.
You're falling into the same lines. Essentially the same beings. Shrek is just bald. A bald version and the Abominable Snowman or a Yeti is just a snowy version
Snowy
of
Bigfoot.
Snowy Bigfoot. So it's just Bigfoot but cold. So
good point. And actually you complain about being hot more than you complain about being cold. So yeah. Bigfoot makes more sense. All right, fair enough, Sasquatch.
And you know what they say about big feet?
Big
large
socks.
shoes. Oh, right. Jack looks a bit Sterling-y. Ian Sterling-y. Who is Ian Sterling? Sorry, I need to Google to decide whether or not I'm offended.
Please
Ian
hold whilst Jack
Sterling.
Googles Ian Sterling-ly.
I don't know who that is. It's Ian with 2 eyes, by the way.
just to be a pedantic prick.
No, I'm just throwing it out there for future reference. And I guess I kind of see it. I mean, it's a generic white guy with hair and a beard.
Yeah, generic white guy, hair and a beard.
So you're not wrong.
Yeah.
So fair play.
Oh.
Fair play. I can't argue that. And decided from my Google I am not offended. Not that it would be anyway. So it looked like the back end of a horse and I wouldn't be particularly affected. Affected? Oh, I suppose that's the correct word as well. Anyway, spoilers. The scene we were talking about in particular, where it goes full superhero movies, obviously the prison.
The prison breakouts case.
Where Dwayne Johnson throws many people, does many things.
Things just bouncing off him.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, you could probably withstand rubber bullets. But come on.
You weren't even flinching for some of them. Just boom.
He's married to Laura Whitmore, so he's doing okay for himself. Don't know who that is either. Oh, Love Island voiceover, man. I'm now offended. I'm afraid. I wouldn't sink to such levels. I absolutely would. But
Yeah,
not-
you absolutely would.
I
Yeah, the
would.
prison break. Ridiculous, but also
Cool.
It's cool as fuck. The whole like Jason Statham's cool as fuck in it. Jason Statham's great in this film. Mm-hmm. I think he's much better in this film than he was in the last one.
That's because they made him a good guy.
But they also do more with him.
Oh yeah.
Because he doesn't he turns up a few times in that last film and does some stuff, but he doesn't do much. This they do more with him. Like the scene with him on the plane was fucking excellent. It was a really good scene, a really well choreographed fight scene with some cool little quirky lines in there and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
They
definitely
stunts.
give him way more to do plot wise, but also, as I say, they made him a good guy so they could tweak his personality
And make
to
him a
be
bit more likeable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which
As
Jason Statham's good at. Jason Statham is likable.
Yeah. As you say though, they are over the fact he killed Han very fast.
Yes.
Like there's not even a little bit of remorse of like, you killed Han, but I will make peace with that briefly for us to do this one bigger thing. But then you still killed Han, and at the end of the they're just like, oh, you're right, mate, no worries. Yeah, thanks for carrying my baby around. No problem at all.
Yeah. No, it was just as if he's now part of the crew, which is really weird that this is how that film ends because so far, at the very least, that is the end of both Dwayne Johnson and Jason Statham.
Right. Well, they also have their own movie, though.
Yeah, of course.
Which I don't know. I don't know what happens in. I've not seen that. I'm going to watch it now, though. I know we're not watching it for this, but I want to watch it just because I want to see more of those
I think
characters.
if you separate it from Fast and Furious, it's a completely enjoyable.
Well, here's the
action
interesting
movie.
thing. Camilla hasn't seen any of the Fast and Furious movies, but she's seen Hobbs and Shaw.
I think that actually makes Hobbs and Shaw better in a way.
Yeah, and she said that it's a good film. So
yeah, I mean, Rich likes Hobbs and Shaw. I know that much. My main issue with Hobbs and Shaw, and I don't mind going into miles, but we're not talking about. Not actually going to spoil anything plot-wise, obviously. Because obviously, the end of this movie, everything's meant to be all wrapped up. Jason Statham's redeemed himself, atoned for at least within the minds of this group of people. And then there is so much of Hobbs and Shaw that is still them two at each other's throats in a "I'm not working with you" type of way. And it's just like, you've resolved this. Like, you're ignoring. I know you're trying to separate from actual Fast and Furious, and this movie only exists because Dwayne Johnson doesn't like Vin Diesel, but come on, you got to acknowledge it.
Hannah said, to be fair, they chop and change their allegiances and hate people in this franchise.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, but I think this is the only one where it's like...
This is the one where it's been that drastic.
Yeah, like they've actually... Because every other one's been like, oh, you're trying to catch me, or you're trying to catch me, or you cross me. This is like, no, you full on killed one of us.
And also...
And tried to kill all of us and put my family at risk and put Brian and his baby at risk and everything else. Like, a much bigger thing.
And you mentioned the plane scene. That plane scene, we also see a return of Owen Shaw.
Yep.
Who...
Not in this film anywhere near enough, because I like Luke Evans.
No, but obviously that's meant to be a big surprise twist, like appearance and everything, and it was cool. I like that he returned. I actually think that even though within that he was there, he didn't get enough to do on that plane.
I actually think it was a good reveal. That sequence was a good reveal, because obviously the last we had seen was Jason Statham go down in London, and they're just talking about it as a, oh yeah, he's gone, we've lost him, and I assumed there was going to be New York. I assumed there was going to be more of that. I assumed there was going to be more to that because of the way they sort of went past it quite quickly. But then the cool reveal of just then the two of them parachuting onto the plane, one mask off,
fucking wingsuit
in, one mask off, and then the other one mask off, and it was Luke Evans as well. I thought that was good. That's a cool way of revealing a character. It's a good reveal.
Sorry, I just had a bit of a Russian coaster scenario.
I see.
Oh, do we have to change the name of that now?
I think we should anyway, on principle.
How do I do this without being offensive? As in just by picking another... I had a coaster, I moved it to have it closer to me, and there was a coaster in the exact same place where I moved one from. So they're cloning them. So we have cloning coasters. You only need to buy one and you get 93 of them. False advertising, do not buy that.
They also come in packs of 4.
So everything was a lie, I do apologise. But why the same thing as well, like from Owen's perspective, they kicked me out of a moving plane well, not kicked me, they stopped the car, I flew out the windscreen of this. Either way, I was ejected from a moving plane. We did make a comment about it,
because they're like, yeah, be careful, you have a bad record with planes. He looks at the back, he's like, yeah, no shit, like, it's good. I'm glad they didn't completely ignore it. I think the point is that there's a common enemy, however. I think is what they're going for. Like, we have a common enemy here. It's a bigger picture. We'll put this aside temporarily.
But it's not temporarily, though. It's meant to be. We've solved all of our issues now. And it's just like, in real life, I don't think you would ever get over that, really. No. I don't think I'd ever be chummy with the people who threw me off a plane.
No, probably not.
And vice versa, I wouldn't expect them to be chummy with me either after I was trying to murder them all. Mm-hmm. And that is why they threw me off the plane. You have to go, okay, fine. Throw my hands up there. That's understandable. This friendship will never blossom. Mm-hmm. I understand. That aside, I do enjoy the carnage of this movie. I particularly enjoy that plane scene as well. Yeah. It is good fun.
Excellent stuff. Really enjoyed it.
Good fun. Anyway, before we get further into this, Hannah brought something up in the Discord earlier that I want to mention before I forget. And that was something we had also mentioned while watching the movie. And that was the timeline of this taking place in order for Dom to actually have a baby.
Well, have a baby specifically with Elena.
Yes, sorry. Dom to have a baby with Elena.
Yeah.
I believe we came to the conclusion that it could work.
Yes.
Because they never specifically say how far apart these movies are.
Yes, so she says she found out she was pregnant just as he found out that Letty was alive.
Yes, which was at the beginning of Fast 6.
Yeah. And as you say, we don't
know how... The thing is, Hannah, we don't know how far apart these movies were. So that the baby looks to be at least like 1.
Yep.
Plus 9 months.
Yeah, that's not like a recent baby.
That is... You're looking at between 1 to 2.
Yeah.
Not 2, but in that sort of area. 1 to 18 month sort of period. And then obviously, if she just found out she was pregnant, it would be like 8, 9 months. Yep. So you've got... But Brian's son went from being a newborn to being at school between Fast 6 and 7. It'll be preschool, though. But you are correct.
She does make a point. You
make a good point.
Hey, but they also all chase a submarine across some ice.
They get chased by a submarine across some ice.
That makes it more believable.
Yeah, I think if you dig too hard into the plot and the timings, okay, fair enough. I will admit it doesn't make sense then. I hadn't taken. Also declares. Do you mean Deckard? Says he weighs 12 pounds. He didn't actually weigh him though. I think he just said a number.
I think that's in like a hyperbole type situation.
Yeah, that's just like I'm gonna say a cute line. He didn't go. Hang on, I need to phone Dom. But first, scales.
How much do you weigh?
12 pounds, give or take a pound for a turd in the diaper. Nappy diaper. I'm sorry, I feel very dirty and American.
Yeah, even more so because Jason Statham's very British.
Yes. Nappy. There we go.
I did enjoy the. Was that you or him?
Him. Good. I enjoyed a lot of this movie.
His mum. Helen Mirren is his mum.
Helen Mirren, the devil's bumhole or something.
That was the
other line,
the one that got me. I was laughing at for ages. Got this weapon called the devil's bumhole or something. God's eye, mum. It's called God's eye. Therefore, when she was like, "I'll give you to the end of my tea to talk," and I'm fucking thirsty. Yeah. But I like the emphasis that she put in. Like Helen Mirren's obviously a very good actress. That obviously she put on this British gangster accent, but like to the point where she pronounced "th" as a "th," fucking thirsty. Like it was not a fucking thirsty.
Yeah.
Like really went the extra mile on it. Good stuff. Toretto.
Yeah, she's a great actress, and obviously, I think she was just doing her best Jason Statham impression at that point, which makes
is
sense.
Fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense why how Owen is so well spoken and Welsh.
Because he's Welsh. No, it doesn't make any sense. But I mean, Hannah has pointed out correctly
adopted,
that he is less Welsh in this movie, in the 2 lines he says. But that's probably why. Maybe he has a limited amount of accent he can do before he just forgets.
I mean, that happens with me. If I try to put on an accent,
You'd sometimes just forget.
it just slips into something else.
It's like there are certain accents that you're doing that are perfectly fine to do a little... And then you accidentally move into something incredibly racist.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that happens to me.
That is usually what happens. It's usually from Irish to a very stereotypical, like Middle Eastern accent.
Yeah. That's always where I end up going as well. Yeah.
And you're just... There's a moment where you realise and you go,
oh,
I need to stop this immediately. The authorities are coming. And also, again, the same with the baby thing. Like his accent, if you look too far into these details, you're going to find so many of them. Like, pretty much none of those cars that were hacked in New York had auto-driving capabilities.
Yes, we're getting to that. Hannah said maybe I went to uni in Wales and picked up the accent. Now, you see, I see the logic. But Hayden, my brother-in-law, went to uni in Wales and he picked up a Mancunian accent. So, anything's possible.
How does that work?
He started dating a girl from Manchester.
I see.
And now, if you speak to him about this, it would be the Fast and the Furious.
Fast. I think you mean the Brum Brum and the Angry.
Yes.
But there are many things. You said we'll get into it, so we may as well get into it now. The New York scene. Probably the most ridiculous scene in all of the Fast and Furious franchise so far.
So I hate plots about hacking.
Yes.
I find it boring and uninteresting and a cop-out.
Yeah, it's a convenient way to do everything.
Yeah, I hate it when any film does it, and it's always stylized in the same way. There's always just someone
everywhere, yeah.
And there's always someone going, yeah, I'm in. That's not how hacking works.
It is to a degree.
It's
not just typing.
They
all
never
the
go
time.
to a mouse once.
No, there is a lot of mouse involved in computering. Yes,
and it's just always just like enhance that. Okay, what?
Why do you type 9 words to enhance?
Yeah.
To enhance a photo, you click zoom.
Yeah.
Like,
or if you are doing it on a keyboard, it's a 2-button shortcut. It's Function F4 or something like that. The very most complicated.
You don't just bring up like search bar, enhance, select. It's like they've got like accessibility options, so it's removed the mouse from things completely. So you have to type out exact scripts of what you're doing. Also, like, it's one of those things that really irritates me. The same with gaming in movies and stuff. They never look into before they start filming or anything how people use these devices. Mm-hmm. The amount of movies I have where people gaming, they're not holding the triggers at all. Mm-hmm. And you're just like, they are vital in every fucking game. Your fingers are up here, or at least one of them is. Mm-hmm. and you can flip between the two, and they never do it right, and it's always just you're constantly pressing buttons. It's like, no, most of the time you're just moving joysticks around. Like, come on, look into it at least once. Even Endgame did it with the Fortnite scene, and the fact that like he put the controller around and you cut to a point where the character's still moving around and playing. It's like you could have at least figured out what the pause menu looked like.
Yeah.
Like, that's even easier then. You're just green screening a photo, not a video. And in this, it's always just like, it doesn't matter what you're typing, just actually type something. I know in this, a lot of them were CG keyboards, because there were these weird digital things that will never take off because they're a nightmare to use. It's like, I guess you kind of have it. You kind of have it these days if you were to lay out an iPad and type on there.
Who does that though?
But it's still a nightmare, and you wouldn't type with all fingers. If you're typing on an iPad, you kind of just do that.
Or you would do the
Or you do the swipey, yeah. I realise there's no pause. Well, you can hit pause. It doesn't pause.
You still get a pause menu. But there'll
be a menu to come up. And it would be better than... I'm playing this game in ghost mode. But anyway... my favourite one, I was watching something. This is about gaming and TV and movie. I can't remember what I was watching, but I was watching something, and this guy was like playing the controller. The controller stuff looked fine, and I was like, okay, this guy knows how to use a controller. Talking on a headset, as if playing some multiplayer games with friends and stuff, and then put the controller down, and the camera turned, and it was Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yes, I remember you telling me about this.
Angered me to no end, and it's just like, do 2 seconds of research. Is Horizon Zero Dawn multiplayer? No. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Don't we look like cucks?
To be fair, it could have just been in a party chat.
No, what he was saying, it was video game lingo.
Playing devil's advocate.
I know you are, but no.
I agree. Anyway, back to the hacking stuff.
Yes.
I don't like it as plot points and as plots in films. I just find it boring and unoriginal, and they all end up being the same. So as soon as it started getting into that, it was irritating me. I think none of these hacking movies ever deal with the hacking scenes well, because there's nothing interesting to show. It's just someone sat at a computer. There's something interesting in that. What are you showing me?
The interesting thing in the world of hacking is what they end up achieving, what they're doing, and why they're doing it. And that you can't get that across in a...
so what we had was lots of scenes of Charlize Theron mumbling to herself whilst typing. Mumbling poor lines to herself. You think you're smart, you're not that smart. Oh, where are you going now? Oh, where you...
And it always, the line was timed perfectly with a enter afterwards. It could have been that she could have dialogue, she could have read all of Romeo and Juliet out loud, and then... Or she could have gone, cunt. One per show.
Wanker.
Hope it wasn't with an Xbox controller. I was so angry about the Horizon Zero Dawn thing that I think I've flushed out what controller it is. Hopefully it was the PlayStation 1, I don't know.
It's probably a...
Oh, and they never turn them on! The controllers are never on.
Oh, yeah, they're never on, yeah.
Which is like, it's blatantly obvious with a PlayStation controller. There's a
especially on the
great
PS4
light.
one,
Yeah, there's a fucking great light on the back of it that's like on. But no. Anyway, we'll stop talking about that now. Instead.
But the hacking, obviously, hacking stuff aside, and me not just enjoying that as a plot point and finding it interesting, the crazy stuff with the cars. Yeah, how are you hacking cars which absolutely do not have those kind of functionalities to do those things?
What's more weird is they do specifically say, find me all the cars within this radius that have that. They make a line that have this chip in them. And it's just like, yeah, one of them wasn't a fucking 2009 Prius.
Sure, you need more than just a chip, though, because you're going to need, then something to control, your pedals and your motor stuff and your state.
I think the chip that she was referring to was the auto drive function.
I see, okay.
But some of the cars, they weren't all modern cars, and some of them were Dodge Chargers and stuff, and just normal minivans and things like that. A couple of taxis, which definitely don't fucking have it. Yeah, it was a weird thing. A bit. I know there aren't that many types of cars that can do it fully, and they would be expensive to destroy. I know most of them were CG, but there were some that were real. They'd be expensive to destroy. Oh, but then again, they fucking destroy a Bentley, don't they? So, although realistically, it's probably more like a Honda Civic with a Bentley.
Yeah, that's normally what these things are.
Yeah, with a Bentley thing on the top. So who knows? But yeah, it's just weird. It's just one of those stupid little... It's another one of those, don't look into it. Don't think about it too much. Just enjoy the moment, because if you start thinking about one thing, you're going to think about all these other things. Like, why do the torpedoes only blow up when they hit the car, but burst through the ice okay, as opposed to just blowing up when they hit the ice? But some torpedoes do. Just enjoy. Just enjoy the chaos. Enjoy the ridiculousness. That's how I've learned to enjoy these movies. Don't question it. Chevrolet provided a load of cars, so it was probably what they were given rather than actually. But no, absolutely it was. That's absolutely how these things work. Chevrolet do a massive range of cars, so I wouldn't be surprised if pretty much all of them were actually Chevrolets. There was a couple of Toyotas, because there were some Priuses in there, and I don't think taxis are... I think they're Crown Victorias, but I don't know. Everything is possible when it's for family. That's true. It may be getting old, but it's getting old within the movie context itself as well. So it's a relevant joke still, and I appreciate it. We appreciate it. What else happened in this movie? The cars, the chaos. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, obviously, Dom is one of the bad guys for most of this movie. That's who they're... Well, no, he's not the bad guy.
He's an antagonist.
Yes, he's who they're chasing down. He's who they're doing all of these things.
I think they actually handle that very well, because, again, it's one of those things that I don't like when team movies split up teams. I don't like when movies that are kind of like about a core hero don't give them the core hero things to do. This movie kind of like edges on that by taking that character and breaking him up from the team and making him do some stuff that you're kind of like, oh, what the fuck are you doing, Dom? But I think they do a really good job of giving him a fair and understandable motivation, and I think they do a very good job of revealing that to you throughout the film, so that you're not giving it right from the beginning, so you're left questioning and going... You're
left with a bit of mystery, a bit of intrigue.
But they also, when they do get to it, it's revealed at a nice slow pace as well, with little bits of details, so as by the time that it gets to the point where he's going back again, you've learned and you've seen the entire transition that he's gone through to go from I need to go against these people briefly and try and keep them out of things while I deal with this until I know the situation is handled, and then I can go and fuck shit up. And I think he plays it really well as well, because throughout most of the film he doesn't say much.
No,
he's just there, stern face, just getting on with it, doing what he needs to do. And then he kind of like almost switches into character in that end scene once he gets the call from Statham to say, I've got the package.
He does briefly in New York as well when he holds the gun to redhead Kratos to stop him from shooting Letty. Obviously, he breaks into this like, no, this ain't fucking happening. Yeah. Like, you're not doing this. You will die. No matter what happens at that point, which shows that it was a good thing to do. It shows it's still him.
Yeah.
And obviously he's not going to let anything actually happen to these people while he's doing this. But
yeah, it gives that implication that he is in control the entire time.
It also would not be that easy to take a nuclear football.
No, absolutely would not be.
Those people would have been under strict instruction that if they are to die in the possession of
the cyanide cap that they have in their teeth.
Yeah. Take it over your cold, dead corpse, essentially. That's the only excuse, because they're probably going back home now to be shot.
Yes.
We were watching this film, and it is a bit...
very close to home.
It's very close to home at the moment. There's obviously... There's a lot of talk of a potential World War III breaking out as caused by Russia. So it's a bit like, oh dear, how do we talk about this sensitively without being like a political podcast? And we never thought we would say that, talking about Fast and Furious. They would have changed the nuclear code, surely. Yes, in about 8 seconds, I imagine. Someone would have got a call and gone, oh, shit, all right.
We'll put an exclamation mark at the end.
Yeah.
Oh, he's one of those Apple auto-generated ones. No one's fucking guessing that.
Yeah. Z, capital ZQ12 Buffalo.
Some ancient hieroglyphs.
Minus 12 pi, rhubarb, lowercase p, cartwheel. And then a carrot emoji.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's the password.
With the exclamation mark at the end. Because otherwise it's not secure enough.
No, to be fair, I think nuclear launch codes are significantly longer than those Apple passwords. Probably longer than pi. No, they're probably not. Given it isn't pi infinite.
Yeah, I was going to say pi's like an infinite number.
You'll be there for a long time. Type them in. I need to launch. I need a month. But
I also enjoyed the scene, that sequence we said about already, where he does go and meets
Helen Mirren.
That was done well. Kind of like the little switch that makes the engine splutter, and the fact I like that they do kind of like a thing of this franchise, which is they go back to it later and show you how he did it. It's just and you don't need to go into huge detail. Just called in the favour of some friends. You don't need to see when he did it. Nope. You don't need to see point is he has contacts and he made it work. And that's fine, believable for that character because that's what he does.
Yeah, absolutely. I think of all the past characters that could have come back from the movies, though, you definitely... Actually, maybe not. But you could have called someone different from the guy from Cuba at the very beginning.
Yeah.
He did call back the two dudes from Fast 5.
Yep.
Fast 4 and 5. Which was nice, like, hey! And then the guy from Cuba, although to be fair, everyone else is dead, aren't they?
Yeah, there's not many people you can go back to now. I also did enjoy that the kind of... I say enjoy, but I like they did it. Just the cementing the idea that Brian is still alive in this world. Brian does still exist in this world.
Which does actually cause a little bit of a weird... This doesn't really make sense and probably make an alive Brian a bit awkward and uncomfortable. But Hannah says, I like that The Rock in prison said he was going to play by the rules and stay in his cell, and 3 seconds later stabs a man to death. Yeah. I've been waiting my whole life. I've been waiting a long time for this. Keep waiting, bitch.
I agree. Yes, but I would say the difference is I'm going to do this myself, stay in my cell. Then he was attacked, and then Shaw started to escape. So it turned away from I need to stay in my cell to I can't let him escape. Mm-hmm. So I'd argue his intention there isn't to escape. It's just that I can't let him escape, and if I need to stab this man in the process,
he does still stab him. Self-defense, to be fair.
Yeah.
Fair to him.
Yeah, that man was going to shiv him.
It was a prisoner, although he does beat the living fuck out of the guards as well. Which, yeah, fair enough.
But then I also get, he's like, come on, I'm clearly trying to catch the bad guy.
Mm-hmm. He even said, although my favourite one was, don't let him get away while he's electrocuting the guy in the face. Like, what do you expect him to do at that point? The weird thing with the Brian thing that came up is obviously at the very end, everyone's happy ever after. They're on a rooftop in New York. Barbecue is a must, of course, with these movies. And anyway, we're British. We fully understand. Sun's out, as is the barbecue.
Yes.
And obviously does this big announcement. For whatever reason, Elena has decided not to name her nearly 2-year-old son, which the government would be involved at that point. You can't just go, you, thing. Shit machine, what are you? And then she was just like, I've just been calling him Marcus or whatever. So his name's Marcus.
Yeah.
You've given him a name. Like, yeah, but it's his middle name. No, it's his fucking name now, isn't it? It's been nearly 2 years. He's adjusted to the name Marcus. You can't just suddenly go, Brian. But they do. They name him Brian. And it's like, but he's alive. And not being funny, if I show up one day, you've had a child, although I probably would have noticed that was going to happen. If you just randomly tell me, by the way, his name Jack. Not that it's ever going to happen, because Jack's a shit name.
I'd say you think a fucking lot of yourself, mate, if I'm totally honest.
I would never expect that. I'm giving you an example of like how weird that would be. I'm obviously not saying that would happen for many reasons. Prime being, Jack's a shit name.
I've always said my first child shall be called Whoops.
Excellent. But yeah, it would be weird if someone named a child after you while you were still alive.
Yeah, I agree.
Unless it's like a family tradition thing. Yeah, but then I also said, but it would also make no sense for him to be called Paul. Yeah. And that'd be a big deal within this universe.
Yeah, that'd be weird.
Hannah says, Chris, please name your firstborn after Jack.
I don't want to. Yeah.
A, he wouldn't want to, and B, I think there is a more important party that you would have to swing on board to do that.
I see what you mean.
Yeah, I don't mean me. No, I mean the wife in the equation.
Yes, no, I understand. Yes, the mother. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Yes, there are so many reasons why that would happen. And also, as he said last time, I'm not that great, so...
I followed up with saying, I don't think that you're that great, but I still love you. So you know.
Yeah, but
I said a nice thing.
even so, but she's not watching.
No, she's not watching.
She might notice that you've legally named her child, though.
So we should call it Jack. What? This makes me feel a bit uncomfortable, Kristian. Jack. Da 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 da. Jack.
What else happens? I've gotten
That also
distracted.
get very confusing as things go on. Mm-hmm. Jack, put that down.
Oh.
Jack shat himself. Sorry.
It was the Vindaloo. What can I say? Jack!
Jack, stop sucking your feet. What?
How long is a Cuban mile? I don't know. I also don't know what Cuban moss is either. Moss? Nos. This is Cuban nos.
I think it's Nos. It's just from Cuba.
Oh yeah, I know. That's why it's ridiculous that they kept calling everything Cuban.
It's like Brazil nuts.
They're not.
In Brazil, they're probably just called nuts.
They are, yes. They're just from Brazil. But it was the Cubans that kept calling it a Cuban mile. So what was a Cuban mile? And why do you have your own little metric system? And also, yes, they're not a nut, but neither's a peanut. So
fucking hell, I thought you were saying something else for a second.
no, you dirty bastard.
How long? No, what is
A Cuban mile?
a Cuban mile? First thing that comes up is Fate of the Curious.
Fate of the Curious.
Curious.
Is it nonsense that someone just said in the movie for no particular reason?
Yep, seems so.
Cool.
Seems so.
Either way, it was for how long that race lasted. It was definitely longer than a mile.
It's the name of the route that they race.
I see. Okay, fair enough.
That's
Fair enough.
there you go. There you go. There's the answer to that one.
Fair enough. Fair enough. We also had Roman back at it again. With
He had some funny stuff in this.
with his or shrinkage as he became known, as he tried to take a piss and couldn't recognise himself. I enjoyed that line. I also enjoyed Dwayne Johnson being like, "Why are you always yelling?"
He had a moment where he died, dead.
Several times.
Yeah. I mean, he was under ice cold water for.
It was not the fact that the incident itself would have immediately killed him. It's that has caused lasting damage.
Yeah.
You were under there. Well, obviously he was in the car, so he wasn't fully submerged for that long, but he was under there for long enough. At least he's got like frostbite in his feet or something at the very least, and then doesn't dry off unless that heating is cranked to like full. And
I mean, there is a big explosion.
that probably would have warmed him up. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Those would have been quite hot, but also within itself, dead.
Dead, yes. Because the bit, like, obviously the massive fucking explosion on the submarine, and Dom's just like, "Oh no, what, protect me?"
I think he was just preparing for death at that point.
I suppose.
But they then do the triangle of cars around.
It was cool as fuck.
It was cool, but the flame would just go under.
Yeah,
the
like
cars.
it wouldn't have worked. It engulfed everything still.
Yes.
But it was cool as fuck. It was very cool.
You even see afterwards the weird, like the scorch line where there's just this bit missing, where all the cars were, and it's cool. It is awesome. Like pretty much that entire sequence. I love some of the callback lines that he gets to have in this movie. Like he says little things earlier, like the problem with keeping your foot on the tiger's neck is that you can't let it up.
Yeah.
And then later it's like you've let your foot off the tiger's neck, and then murders everyone. But he also says that I don't pick a target from far away. I look mine dead in the eye.
Yeah.
So what are you doing? I'm looking you dead in the eye, and then brutalizes that man. By the way, like just picks him up and strangles him, swings him over. Another superhero move, because you're not doing that to a man of redhead Kratos' size. Slams him onto the bonnet, continuously strangling him, and then with his head over the edge and the edge on his neck, just fucking judo chops his entire life just into the next realm. Like just snap. Ouchie. Brutally murders that man.
He has the throwback line with Statham as well, of like, "Oh, you thought this was going to be a street fight?"
Oh yeah, throwback from a different line, and then just very obvious that he wasn't actually dead, but it's neither here nor there. It was still cool. He's Tormund, not red-haired Kratos. No, he's red-haired Kratos, I'm afraid.
Yes, if Jack has dubbed him that, then that's what he shall be. It's the rules of Rabbit Hole.
I know he's Tormund, and I know he's in Game of Thrones and what have you, but I don't care about Game of Thrones. So I care about God of War, though. And he does look like, if he dyed his beard brown and shaved his head, he would be visually, at least, maybe not on an acting standpoint, but visually at the very least, a good option for Kratos. Not Jason Momoa good, but good. But knowing our luck, they're probably going to be like, oh yeah, well, Sony will probably just cast Tom Holland.
Yeah, true.
He's going to be the lead in Horizon Zero Dawn. He's going to be the lead in Ghost of Tsushima, causing many problems across the board. He's going to be God of War. He's just Sony's boy now.
Hey, making them some money though, isn't it? Because Uncharted is doing well.
Uncharted's doing fucking well.
Yeah.
We're definitely getting a sequel.
Yep.
It's also 90% audience rating on Rotten Tomatoes. I know that doesn't mean 9 out of 10. That means 90% of the reviews were at least above 60.
But that's still good.
That's still good, yeah. It's certified fresh at the very least. So that's just how Rotten Tomatoes works. The critics' response is much, much, much lower. So when you're like looking through movies and like... So on Apple TV, when you're renting movies or buying movies, it will give you loads of information at the bottom, and also the Rotten Tomatoes score is like 30-something% at the moment, which is just too low. Like, it's not mind-blowing, but it's definitely higher than that. But as we know, people have forgotten how to review things.
Says us, who the way we review things at the moment is we just talk about things, isn't it?
It's not a review. This isn't meant to be a review, though. We kind of just lie in the title.
Internet.
To try and clickbait people,
Yeah.
but it doesn't work, so it doesn't matter.
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
Who did that? My mouth wasn't moving.
Fucking twat. Anyway,
Fast and Furious.
so I think that the characters that were there, they used well. I do think it was missing. I really do think it suffers from not having Brian. I don't have a problem with the plot getting overly absurd. The issue I have with the plot of this is the hacking stuff. I just didn't find that interesting. I would have liked to have seen some different stuff being done. I don't know what. I'm not a movie maker, but I just don't find the hacking thing interesting. I also don't think Charlize Theron was particularly interesting. Or, you know, like, she's clearly just brutal because she straight up shoots Elena. Well, she has her man do it. Like, she's clearly got a fucking screw loose. She's also clearly not going anywhere because she doesn't die. She just fucks off. That was my other thing. They all seem remarkably chill that they've not actually solved the problem yet. They've just got baby back, but she is still on the loose.
Well, they haven't stopped her, but they've stopped the problem. They've
Yes,
solved
but
the issue with the nukes and the EMP, and they...
She's going to have a vendetta against them, though, because she already has a vendetta against Dom for stopping 2 of her teams.
For sure. Not
So,
to say, not to say that she won't come back and cause a new problem, but the problem she caused for this particular plot was resolved.
I just feel like if it was me, I'd be like, she's a continued problem. There is no time for this barbecue. Baby, Brian, whatever, let's go murder bitch.
Well, yeah, but they were just having a moment because obviously Dom hadn't actually had his
guess.
baby yet, so they were just meeting so he could get the baby. Although we'll get into it next week. Sorry, there's something here. But sorry. Right. Yeah, she's escaped. They don't really know where she is. Obviously, Mr. Nobody's looking. We get Dwayne Johnson be like, I'm not going back. I'm Daddy's staying home.
Daddy's staying home.
Doesn't have the same ring to it. There's always time for some for family, a barbecue, and some ice cold Corona. I don't think they mentioned Corona.
No, but there
in
was
this
some
movie.
Coca-Cola product placement in it.
There was quite a lot. Very obvious he was using a Coca-Cola can in the engine at the beginning. But yeah, there was some. Maybe they couldn't get Corona back.
The other thing I would say on this film is, so far, I think it's the prettiest one.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Looks really, really good. I mean, 2018, so pushing more into 4K and stuff like that as well.
Yeah, actual 4K
Yeah,
as opposed to just up-res versions.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looked great. Looked really good.
I really like the way they shot the prison scene because it was weird. It was like...
I like the way they shot a lot of it.
Well, yeah, I like the way they shot most of the film, but the prison scene in particular was weird, not something you see very often. It utilised both showing all of the action stuff, but it was also shaky cam at the same time. It was very odd. Isn't there an upcoming Flash movie? There is. It'll be some point later this year.
The other thing I think they did well in the prison scene I liked is they actually showed that action sequence from both characters' perspective.
Yep.
So it shows you shots of like
Statham running away.
And looking back up at Hobbs and vice versa.
Yeah.
Showed you both perspectives, which was cool. Kind of put the implication in there early on of we're going to be focusing on Hobbs as Shaw as a main character in this more because we're showing you things from his perspective. We're making him more personalized just by doing that. I think it's good. Very clever.
And yeah, just the way that entire ice sequence was shot really well as well.
Yep.
Just the shots and it's just well designed, like the landscape and stuff that they chose to use, even though it was just a wide plane of ice. I do think they chose that to avoid the runway situation again of it. Why is this so long? And because they're specifically, it's 10 miles. So it's your house to my house, essentially. Keeping films in order, can we do Hobbs and Shaw next week? And no, we're not doing Hobbs and Shaw at all.
Yes.
That completely fucks everything in terms of the schedule. We're not doing Hobbs and Shaw at all.
We could do it one day, maybe.
Yeah, we'll do it at some point, probably. Maybe.
We're not doing it as part of this run.
No. Maybe if there's a Hobbs and Shaw 2 that comes out, we can do Hobbs and Shaw. But honestly, I can't be bothered with the carnage that would cause to our schedule.
It would fuck everything. There's so many things. Because there's loads of films and stuff coming out and shows coming out. So
It would break my heart. And my mind. And my body. And my patience.
Do you want to do ranking?
Oh, God, we've been yapping about 51 minutes. I kind of feel like we've said nothing.
No, we said a lot.
Sorry. There is one thing I want to say before we do rank.
Okay.
There was a scene where they're all surrounding Dom and they've all grapple hooked into him.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Cool stuff. Thank God your soul would be intact. But that's because it would be floating away from my body, from my broken carcass of a physical being. But he's got to have at least 1,000 horsepower in that car. Try 3,000. Try 4,000. Try 5. All right.
Yeah.
We didn't need it that many times. Though. We get it. It's a big brum brum. It's a quick brum brum. Also, 5,000 horsepower in an engine in a car. It's a car.
Yeah.
It's not a jet fighter. Why? What? Stop. It's not a fucking forklift. You know those things that famously go rapid?
What kind of fucking ass forklifts have you been
I
driving?
don't know what I was thinking of. What was I thinking of?
I don't know what you were thinking of either. A jet?
A big vehicle that go fast. A jet. That would work.
Like one of those, like what Richard Hammond crashed.
Yeah, one of them. The first crash.
Yeah.
It was the jet car, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The one that had to stop by parachute or something.
Yeah, I wonder what the horsepower was on that, out of interest.
Probably not 5,000.
That's what I'm thinking. Let me see if I can find out.
What they were implying was he has enough power in the engine to withstand the pull that he's getting. But that's not horsepower, that's torque. You need more torque for that. And yeah, you obviously need a comparable amount of horsepower to cope with the amount of torque. But this torque. This is a car movie. It doesn't know that.
Come on, give me some information on the
Silly
horsepower on
goose.
this. It's telling me it speeds.
That's a forklift with the Death Star. 5,000 horsepower. Something in my face.
Not giving it to me. Vampire Dragster is called. Vampire Dragster horsepower. Just out of interest. Top speed of 300.3 miles per hour. Didn't give you anything about horsepower. Saying 5,500 pounds of thrust.
That's quite a lot.
But it didn't say anything about horsepower though.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. The White Supra. Anyway, yes, let's move into the ranking as we have discussed many things about this movie for 54 minutes.
All right,
Our current ranking lies as number 1, Furious 6, number 2, Fast and Furious 7, number 3, Fast 5, number 4, The Fast and the Furious, number 5, Fast and Furious, which is the fourth one, number 6, Too Fast, Too Furious, and number 7, The Fast and the Furious, Tokyo Drift. Where is your mind at currently, Kristian?
Okay, Definitely not number 1.
No.
So I don't think it's better than Furious 6. I don't think... see, I would go 4.
I would go 3. I think I prefer this to...
So you would put it above Fast 5?
Yeah. Personally, like... There are things that are better about Fast 5, definitely. Mm-hmm. And there are things that are better about Fast 8. My main thing, obviously, that would put Fast 5 above it is obviously like Paul Walker, and you get that interaction with Paul Walker and the rest of the cast, which is obviously one of the things that makes these films so great. But Fast 5, for me, on just a sit back, watch and enjoy a movie point of view, like the action stuff, and it is very quaint by comparison, and it's not as quicker paced thing. It's a lot slower paced.
This film is very well paced.
Yeah, I think Fast 5 isn't as well paced. It's a bit slower, which is fine. Not to say that slow or quickly paced is to affect the quality of a movie, but if you were just to sit down and enjoy in a rewatching these, I have enjoyed watching 8 again more than watching 5. So I would go 3 personally.
All right, you've convinced me. 3.
3 it is. 3. So Furious 6, Furious 7, Furious 6, Fast and Furious 7, Fast and Furious 8, and then you can read the rest. Yep. That is our new ranking. Let us know if you agree or disagree in the... Well, Rich is going to say 7. It did a slidey thing away. That's a new thing for OBS.
It also fades in, look, and then slides out. And one more time, fade in and slide out.
Ooh! He changed it on us. 17. Hannah says, I'm already struggling to remember which film is which. They're all meddling. Fast, bring up the ranking. Again, please. Thank you. Fast 6, or Furious 6, is the one with Luke Evans and the long-ass runway. Furious 7 is the one with all the scenes in Dubai. Week. Yeah, well, it's the one we watched last week. And there's also lots of scenes in Dubai, skydiving cars. Fast 5 is the one with the safes in Brazil. Is that Brazil?
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah.
I think it was Brazil.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're in Rio.
The Fast and Furious, obviously the first one, Vin Diesel stills DVD players. How's that? How it started. Fast and Furious is the 4th one, the one where they go to Mexico at the end and with all the tunnels through the mountain. Too Fast, Too Furious is the one where Tej has a big ass afro, the one in Miami, and then Tokyo Drift. There you go.
And Thwip.
Oh dear. What have I done?
Very satisfying. Fade and Thwip.
Hey! Coming up on... Oh! Do we do closing thoughts after ranking?
Yeah.
We do. Closing thoughts. I enjoy this movie. Count Whipping Jack, indeed. I enjoy this movie, as I said, I've put it at number 3. It's not the best one. Nowhere near the worst one. Absolutely not. Still a great time.
Yeah, I've still had a really good time. I'm really glad I've watched these movies. So it's been a good run. Good, fun run.
Excellent. I'm glad you are enjoying them. Coming up on the channel on Saturday, we will be back for The Dark Knight Rises at 8 p.m. for Admit 1, immediately followed by Press Start. You even paid to watch it, isn't it, on Amazon?
Perhaps he's wondering why someone would shoot a man before throwing him out of a plane.
It's good.
I like that film.
Well, good. Ah, I thought this one was on Amazon. I thought it was just 9. That wasn't. Sketch is almost finished. Excellent. Oh, I'll have a look at the ones in the Discord when we come off. Immediately followed by Press Start. And then, of course, we will be returning next Tuesday to end this long-ass run. The 9-week... Huh? 9-week run for the Fast and Furious. We'll be returning for Fast and Furious 9. And then the following Saturday... The Saturday after Fast 9 is The Batman. So normally we wouldn't do the new releases on the Saturdays. But it kind of just lined up too perfectly. Lined up too perfectly. So obviously, if you can, get yourself involved. Go watch The Batman, or if you don't care about spoilers, join us anyway, but I'm pretty sure most people involved in our Discord will care about spoilers for The Batman, so go see The Batman and join us Saturday the 12th. Saturday the 12th for The Batman. What's going on for the rest of March? After that, so that'll be like 19th, so we're already nearing the end of March by that point anyway, is Admit 1, episode 100, and we have some plans for you. There won't be anything specific to watch for that episode. We won't be doing it won't be a specific movie or TV show or anything for episode 100. It will be
a celebration.
It'll just be a celebration. If you have any best bits that you can remember, let us know. We will try and do something with that. If you have any favourite Admit 1 moments. But can you believe? Can you believe?
We won't do when you see the first fucking episode again. Spoilers.
Yeah.
No.
But that's not... I just said we're not watching anything specific. You think for the celebration... Rich is onto something there. That is definitely something we need to find.
Oh, I remember. I know what it is.
That is definitely something we need to find, and I think we may also need to find the original socks.
Yes,
as well. But as for the rest of March, well, we don't want to give too much away, do we?
There is a few more little things to work out.
There's a few more specifics
and then
to work out, mainly Tuesdays.
But
obviously, when we get towards the end of March as well, that is when both Halo, if we can watch it in the UK.
Halo, Moon Knight, and then not long after... Oh, no, it is long... Shut up.
Yeah, Halo and Moon Knight, and then there'll be The Boys and Obi-Wan. They all overlap and everything. And we'll be doing that, and we'll obviously give you the specifics when we get there. But until next time, thank you all for joining, and we shall see you then.